The antique shop owner who shocked her family with a $15 million secret. What would you do if your family constantly treated you like a failure, only to discover you're secretly worth millions? Well, that's exactly what happened to one woman, and her family's reaction will leave you speechless. Picture this: you're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner, same as every year, being treated like the family disappointment. Your sister's the golden child, fancy lawyer, perfect husband, kids in private school. Meanwhile, everyone thinks you're barely scraping by with your little antique shop. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Meet Catherine, a 36-year-old woman who owns a small antique store in historic Savannah. To everyone around her, she's living paycheck to paycheck. She wears thrift store sweaters, drives a beat-up old car, and spends her days surrounded by what most people would call junk. Her family, they see her as the classic underachiever. Her sister Lauren had it all figured out: Stanford graduate, high-powered pharmaceutical lawyer, married to a surgeon, living the American dream. Every family gathering was like watching a highlight reel of Lauren's perfect life. Meanwhile, Catherine got the usual questions: is that little shop of yours still open? Or have you thought about getting a real job? But Catherine had a secret. A massive secret that would change everything. It all started years ago when she studied art history in college. While everyone else was chasing prestigious degrees, Catherine was falling in love with old furniture, vintage pieces, and forgotten treasures. Her parents were disappointed, to put it mildly. Her mother literally folded up her college application with trembling hands, muttering something about how art doesn't pay the bills. After graduation, Catherine worked at an auction house for 3 years, quietly learning the trade. She discovered she had an eye for spotting valuable pieces that others overlooked. She could tell authentic wood from fake, identify different historical periods, and spot undervalued treasures from across the room. At 28, she took the biggest risk of her life. She emptied her savings, borrowed money from a friend, and opened her tiny shop on a quiet street in Savannah. Opening day was, well, let's just say her mother brought plastic flowers and whispered to her friend, hopefully she grows out of this phase. From that moment on, Catherine became the invisible family member. Every holiday, every gathering, Lauren was center stage with her latest courtroom victory or family vacation to Aspen. Catherine just sat quietly in the corner, fielding awkward questions about whether her shop was still open. But here's what nobody knew. That first year, Catherine bought an old French clock from a storage unit for $30. The owner just wanted to clear out what he thought was junk. Catherine spent weeks cleaning it, researching the markings, and restoring it to its original glory. Turns out, it was a limited edition piece made for a French general during Napoleon's reign. 3 months later, it sold at auction for $48,000. That's when Catherine realized something incredible. Her passion wasn't just about emotion, it was a precision tool for creating wealth. She didn't need her family's approval. She needed patience, knowledge, and the ability to see what others missed completely. So she started waking up early on weekends, driving to estate sales across the Southeast. She discovered that wealthy families downsizing often had no idea what their old junk was actually worth. Armed with research skills and an eye for authenticity, she began finding treasures hiding in plain sight. One of her biggest scores happened at a professor's estate sale. Among thousands of books, she found a rare 1837 woodblock print with original annotations from a British historian. She paid $125 for the entire box. 6 months later, after verifying its authenticity, it sold to a museum for over $200,000. Now, wins like that don't happen every day, but even smaller finds were steadily building her wealth. She formed a company called Shamalaya Holdings, hired a private financial advisor, and quietly began investing her profits. She bought the building where her shop was located. Then the apartments above it. Then the office next door. Then the parking lot behind it. All under the company name. Her family had no clue. Catherine chose to live simply, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Her vintage clothes came from flea markets, but they were made from French fabrics worth more than most people's entire wardrobes. Her old car was lovingly maintained and filled with memories of treasure hunting adventures. Every year, she traveled to Europe for buying trips, but really spent weeks wandering through museums in Florence, reading in tiny bookshops in Belgium, and walking through Paris just to watch streetlights shimmer on cobblestones. She didn't need to prove anything to anyone. She had found her purpose and was living it fully. Then came Thanksgiving. Same routine as always, Catherine showed up with homemade pie and a small historical gift for Lauren that would immediately be pushed aside. Lauren dominated the conversation with stories about her latest cases and vacation plans. Catherine sat quietly, peeling potatoes in the kitchen while everyone fawned over the golden child. Everything seemed normal until Lauren's phone died. Without thinking, she grabbed Catherine's phone from the counter and started scrolling through notifications. That's when she saw it, a text from Catherine's financial advisor. "Congratulations, your net worth just hit 15.2 million. See you next week to discuss the Charleston investment." The room went dead silent. Lauren held up the phone like she'd uncovered a federal crime. "What the hell is this, Catherine? 15 million? You?" Catherine calmly asked for her phone back, but Lauren wasn't letting go. "Where did this money come from? Are you involved in something illegal?" When Catherine explained it all came from her antique work, the same work they'd been calling playing with junk for years, nobody could believe it. Her father's voice was shaking. "You really have $15 million? But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Instead of congratulations or pride, Catherine's family immediately started calculating what they could get from her. Lauren launched into a sob story about her daughter needing violin lessons in France. Her husband suggested Catherine didn't really need all that money since she lived so simply. Her mother chimed in with guilt. "You have no husband, no kids, no expenses. Helping family shouldn't be a burden." They weren't celebrating her success. They were dividing up her bank account like vultures. Lauren pushed harder. "I'm only asking for my daughter. Maybe a small scholarship. One act could change her entire life." Catherine saw right through it. "And after that? Then it'll be your mortgage, your son's college, mom and dad's roof repairs. What do I become, an ATM with shared DNA?" Her brother-in-law had the audacity to suggest she should just give them $3 million and keep the rest. Like it was pocket change. But the most painful moment came when Catherine realized nobody asked how she'd learned to do this. Nobody was curious about her work or impressed by her expertise. They just saw a number on a phone screen and started making demands. Catherine stood up and walked outside. For the first time in her life, she felt completely clear about who these people really were. When she came back in, she laid down the truth. "My money didn't come from luck. None of you helped when I was starting out. None of you checked on me during those 12-hour days surrounded by dust and rotting wood. So why does anyone think they have a say in how I spend what I earned?" Lauren tried the guilt angle. "If you truly love this family, sharing shouldn't be such a burden." Catherine's response was perfect. "I don't lack love. I lack mutual respect." The argument escalated until Lauren played her final card, threatening to cut Catherine out of family events, her niece's graduation, everything. She was literally using her children as bargaining chips. That's when Catherine delivered the line that ended it all. "I'm not saying no because I'm selfish. I'm saying no because I've learned the most expensive lesson of my life: never give your worth to people who only see it when it turns into money." She walked out. Her father called after her. "You'll regret this. Being alone will catch up with you." Catherine's response: "I still have family. Just not here. And you know what?" She was absolutely right. Over the following months, Catherine built the community she'd always wanted. She started teaching antique appraisal classes, launched a scholarship fund for young preservationists, and connected with people who shared her passion for history and craftsmanship. Her classes filled up within days. Students came from across the state, bringing curiosity and respect that her blood family had never shown. She wasn't just teaching, she was passing on knowledge to people who truly valued it. When the next Thanksgiving rolled around, Catherine invited her parents to her place. Just the three of them. No drama, no Lauren, no calculations. They had a quiet dinner where Catherine was finally seen as enough, exactly as she was. Her mother's only comment about the beautiful meal and transformed apartment: "Your shop looks so different. It's more beautiful than we expected." Sometimes that's all the validation you need, not praise, just acknowledgement that you exist and have value. Catherine's story isn't just about money. It's about boundaries, self-worth, and the courage to walk away from people who only see your value when it benefits them. She spent years being treated like a failure, then the moment her success became visible, those same people felt entitled to it. The real lesson here? Your worth isn't determined by other people's opinions. Catherine built something meaningful with her own hands, created a community of people who respected her expertise, and learned to value herself even when her family couldn't. Would you have done the same thing? Could you walk away from family who only wanted your success when they could profit from it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I read every single one. And if stories like this resonate with you, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started with these incredible real-life tales of courage, boundaries, and finding your true family.